Flight boss, bitch. You know, for sure. You're not listening to the mind of that Terry's Moon. I'm the Archangel Uriel. And I'm in care. I got God duties and motherfucking responsibilities right now. You know what I'm saying? We listen to Kodak Flights right now. But check this out. You know what I'm saying? Now there's a way to understand what the fuck is going on with everything right now. And this is what people clearly don't understand. I like to do shit the way everybody did way back to whoever you learned what you fuck you learning from and shit. So we going through a period of time. And this is how you see what period of time we going through, even if everybody else don't. And people who are not into this, you can kind of see them being influenced. Now, how to know what kind of period of time we going through, you always have to look towards the outer planets. Now, the outer stars is Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. And with Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto, they play like mini fixed stars here. Mini stationary stars. Because the distance that they are from our space and location, it appeared to be moving a lot slower to us than to where they are relative to them if you were them. You know what I'm saying? That's why I be telling people get out of that sun rising and setting consciousness, because if you was the sun, you just moving along on your trail. And the moment somebody come meet you and tell you that you was rising and setting, the sun gonna look at you like you don't know what the fuck you talking about. So this is what I be telling people. You need to apply certain mechanisms that your human brain created for everything. Don't just use it for one part and disclose it for other shit based upon what someone have told you or taught you about what that mechanism is used for. Go into yourself and see if that mechanism actually coming from that source. Now, reason why I said, now before we even get into this shit, right? We got a lot of retrograde planets right now. So, right now, everybody is witnessing past circumstances of intellect, their logic, their communication. So whether they're right or wrong, they want to prove that it's right or wrong right now. They want to prove that it's right, even if it's wrong. Because here's the thing. You're going to find yourself missing certain things that you didn't see before. So you want to find yourself feeling it. It's going to be on your mind, and you're going to feel the need to want to communicate that. So it's going to come in many different ways, shapes, and forms depending on your alignments. Your alignments, you may do that in a negative way. You may lash out on somebody else's intellect. You may try to conversate about something that's truly not the actual cause of the conversation, but you just want to prove your point of something that you may have missed. So you would clearly understand somebody, but you want to go straight to the part that you know you understand, but just for the sake of you wanting to get your own intellect off, you will use a false pretense, aka make a point out of something that you using. What they call that word? I forgot what the fucking word is, but it's when somebody try to fight. They try to fight or utilize an argument that you don't even have. You was making another point of what you said, but they using what you said to make their point without concluding the point that you was of why you said it in the first place. For an example, say I make a metaphor. Say if I was to drive up the street and shoot somebody, I would go to jail. Now, this what I'm talking about when someone tried to make an argument of something of the word I'm talking about. They'd take the part of me saying I would shoot somebody and then try to make an argument and state their claim based upon that. See, this person said they'd shoot somebody. Disregarding the fact that I'm making a metaphor saying that if I was to drive up the street and shoot somebody, I would go to jail. They had played just a little part of me saying I would shoot somebody and make a whole claim upon that without playing the rest of the part. A lot of that's going to be going on even with you right now at this point. So keep that in mind with this Mercury retrograde. People going to be taking statements that you said and try to misrepresent it based upon their feelings and emotions towards you. And this is where Mercury comes into play. Or Thoth, or however what y'all want to call it. You know, now getting to Mars is in retrograde also. So people got to look towards people past tense desires and passions is now popping up. So if it's a desire that you haven't experienced, it's going to pop back up as a frustration. And then you're going to use the negative side of Mars and use some aggression to try to get your passion and motivation or what you desire. So past desires and motivations is popping up in your life at the moment. Oh, that's the seatbelt? Oh, you can see that shit. But look, past emotions, past passions and things that you desired is popping up at the moment, right? So if you're not experiencing what you have pastly desired, when it pop back up in front of you now, it's something you don't have. So it's going to play as a point of you being disappointed and wanting to use your aggression on something. You see what I'm saying? Mars put people in a lot of different type of states. Saturn is also in retrograde. So past ways of seeing reality and making sense of how you gain structure in your life is popping up right now. So if these things that you've been clinging on haven't been working, the frustration of it not being working comes 10 times harder right now. So you have to keep that in mind also. So people will look at the reality of their circumstance, and if they see it's not working right now, the frustration of that is that much more. Regardless of the circumstance and situation it is, whether you're a person on the internet, whether you're a person that's in real life or whatever like that, this, that, and the third. However the circumstance play out. Neptune is also in retrograde. So past dreams and imagination and creations is coming back up. So if you ain't experiencing your dreams and imaginations now, guess what? It's going to come back up as you trying to figure out why. So you're going to come with some logic or some opposing imagination to make an excuse of why your imagination ain't flourishing. And then if you see somebody else's dream and imagination take off, you're going to utilize that to justify your claim of why yours not taking off in some way, shape, or form. Neptune will put you into an illusion right now. Pluto is also in retrograde. Now, a lot of past power and control issues coming up right now, transformative situations. So if your circumstances ain't transforming in no way of your liking, if you ain't taking power and control over your circumstance and you feel like it's taking power and control over you, this is going to be a moment that you're transformed by the energies. If you're taking power and control over your circumstance and you appreciate what you got going on, yeah, to the right, then that's what's going to happen. You know what I'm saying? So the time that we're going through right now, this is what you need to understand. Chiron also in retrograde, but check this out. The sun is squaring Uranus. And it's not, when the sun goes into Virgo, it's not no more. But with the sun squaring Uranus, this whole 30-day spectrum we've been experiencing is people, for you to make this energy work for you, you're supposed to pay attention to the uniqueness and originality of yourself, your own actions, right? Now, when you step into the negative side of this energy, you start to pay too much attention to opposing, rebellious, orange, the orange tree. You start to pay attention to trying to be opposing, changing, or rebellious too much. You see what I'm saying? That's what you need to understand. The square is a learning process, so we have to learn from these alignments. So people who are not learning, they're utilizing their actions and the stuff they pay attention to be challenging, opposing, or rebellious. The people who are utilizing this Uranus energy for themselves when the sun square Uranus, these people utilize their uniqueness and originality in their actions. They pay attention to their own uniqueness and originality and put that out. So if you are on the opposing side, you got influenced by these energies. If you are on the side of putting out your own uniqueness and originality, you're on the positive side and you're going to gain traction, whether the traction come in a positive or negative way. You're able to utilize that energy for your force. You know, Pluto and Saturn is in the same sign. So that means that's empowerment. Power and control or transformation is going to be played out in a positive way when it comes to taking power and control over how you see reality right now or gain structure in your life. But that could lead into a negative end because it's still Pluto. So too much power and control could lead to instability and stumbles and fall and business crashing. Your business could just be your thought process and your ideas that you want to build on, your dreams. That can crash right now. You see what I'm saying? The moment you try to take too much power and control over it, you're going to start trying to take power and control over others' ideas and imaginations or business for your own goal. And when you don't see that take fruition, you try to transform it in some type of way. No, make it left. Transform yourself. Take power and control over your own dreams and imagination. And you will get through this on the positive side of Pluto and Saturn being in conjunction. And Uranus is opposing Jupiter. This is the big one. I call that change in spirituality or religion or wisdom. Right now, with Uranus been opposing Jupiter, because Jupiter is in Scorpio, so it's doing it in a deep way. And check this out. Uranus is making everybody change or rebel or oppose against some form of wisdom, knowledge, meanings, or reasonings, or some broad philosophical points of views of looking at the world, spirituality, and God, or even astrology, mysticism, and occult, even science to a certain degree. So that's you playing this out on a negative end. But Uranus is opposing Jupiter, so you need to know that. That's change in moral systems. Now to make this, for you don't be in a give and receive, for you don't be in a tug of war match and you could be in a give and receive match with this motherfucking shit, and don't be in this opposing energy and be in an alignment energy. Oh, you forgot? And be in alignment energy and shit. Here's what you need to do. You need to take your originality, your uniqueness, and you need to oppose your own moral system. And you will be able to be wise enough to see what you've been missing and what you've been misjudging and misrepresenting. The moment you try to change and rebel and oppose against someone else, moral wisdom and knowledge that they're presenting from their own idea, you're on the negative side of energy. And you just as wacky out and letting the government play you out and shit like that. So keep that in mind. Flight boss, bitch, goddamn air.